Alright, so welcome back to my video today, guys. And today, I went to the hospital 2 days ago in an ambulance because I told Mom the vision in my left eye is becoming a little bit blurry. Now, I have an infection in my ears and nose right now, and she was afraid of me going blind from the infection getting into my eye. So she called 911. So the paramedics showed up. She told them that I just got tested for the COVID-19, and the girl driver got really upset. She started backing up into the fridge, and then after that, I said to them, I said, can you help me down the stairs? I'm having a really hard time walking. So they did that. They put me in the ambulance. They put a seatbelt on me. And some dude in the back talked to me pretty much the whole way there. He was really nice, I liked him. So I went to the hospital. They put me in the back. And then some girl came out and said, follow my finger. So I did. And then after that, they put me in the waiting room for about an hour and a half. And then I got called in a little bit later. They checked my eyes all over. And then they said my eyesight looks pretty good. And then they said I need a CT scan because they were afraid of, having like a tumor or something like that. So she's like, come back tomorrow and we'll give you a CT scan. And I'm like, I don't think I can come back tomorrow. She's like, why not? I'm like, I don't have a drive. Because I didn't want to have to go back home. I wanted it right then. And I'm like, why can't I have it done? And they're like, because the place isn't open right now. She's like, unless you're dying, you can't have it done. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to spend $50 on a taxi to get home. I didn't get home until 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I uploaded that YouTube video yesterday that I made at the hospital. And then they said, come back the next day to get a CT scan. So I did. Mom told them that I'm special needs. And then the dude's like, well, even though you're special needs, you still can't come in. Because Mom told him that she wanted to be with me. And he's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I used to have epilepsy and seizures, and I have panic attacks. The dude's like, unless you can't talk or you can't do anything, no one can be with you. So I started panicking. So they told Mom to leave, so she did. And then I'm sitting in the waiting room for like hours waiting for my CT scan. They finally called me in. And then I get in there, and I don't know where I'm going. I asked the girl, I'm like, am I in the right place to get the x-ray? And I couldn't even understand her because she sounded like she was talking out of a robot voice. So I'm like, okay. So then I didn't even know I had to take a number. And then I started wobbling. I couldn't barely walk. So once I got registered to get the CT scan, I asked the girl for a wheelchair. I said, can I have a wheelchair right now? Because I am having a hard time walking. I'm lightheaded. I'm shaking. So they gave me a wheelchair. And then after that, they wheeled me all the way over to where I had to get my CT scan. I sat there waiting for my turn. And then they x-rayed me. And I was really nervous in there too. I had to lay in that machine for like at least 2 or 3 minutes. And I was having a panic attack like really bad. Because like I said, my mom usually helps me in the hospital because I don't know where I'm going. And I was upset. So after that, they put me back in the waiting room. And then after I get put back in the waiting room, I see Mom creeping through the door. She snuck back into the hospital, and she sat in the waiting room with me the whole entire time, even though she wasn't supposed to. She brought me to the bathroom a couple times. And then maybe 2 hours later, they called me in, and they told me that there's nothing wrong with my head. The dude told me that your CT scan shows up, that there's nothing wrong with your head. You're all good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He said I still have an ear infection right now, nose infection. Just go home and rest. He said if you get worse, come back. I'm not really feeling the best right now. I'm still laying in bed. My legs have been shaking like crazy today, but I'm just laying here. So that's pretty much it of what happened. And that's it. And goodbye.